Hello, hello, brothers and sisters. We're very, very happy to bring you a new show today. Our show is titled Speak of Africa. We have another great show for you today. It's really a sad week. So many things are happening in the motherland that make us really cry. But we always learn that to every cloud, there's a silver lining. We always choose not just to dwell on the negativity. So we're not really going to try to be negative. We're going to try to share with you ways in which we can make the best out of a bad situation. We're starting the show today by doing some house chores. We have a new program which we want to help most of our people, especially those who live in the United States. We want to help you to join our organization so that we can help you make a little bit more money. We're going to be introducing a training program late in December, like this, before Christmas. It's going to be our Christmas gift to you. Most of the guys who want to make extra money, we're going to show you how you can join our finance program and make some money from our company, because we sell a lot of financial products and services. We're in the tax business, we're in the insurance business, we're in the real estate business, and we are in the stock business. So we're going to use you. We're going to try to help. Some of you may want to actually learn to become professional actors in these fields of finance. Those who just don't want to read the books, we can use you as marketing agents and you'll still be able to make money. So we have a very elaborate program. We're going to be talking about our free money-making seminars before Christmas. That's going to be our Christmas gift to you. So no matter how gloomy things may seem, we'll ask you to think all is for the best, okay? In the best of all possible worlds. So don't dwell on negativity. We don't want to dwell on negativity either. So many stories that are breaking out today are really sad, and we understand, but we're telling you, take it with a pinch of salt, okay? So the show of today, we're going to start with Ambazonia, okay? Ambazonia. Ambazonia is the northwest and southern region of Cameroon, southern Cameroons. A sad story broke yesterday, Saturday, and it was so sad because soldiers and militias and the senior divisional officer in a town called Kumba in Meme Division, they went to a school and killed over 8 children, then injured many others. Why? Was that madness? Well, sometimes mad people tell you they are not mad, they are sane. So these people knew what they were doing. For so long, on this show, we always tell you what is happening in Ambazonia almost every week. We keep you up to date. Whether you are an African, whether you are a European, whether you are an American who just wants to understand and make sense out of what is happening in this part of the world, we make an effort to share this information with you. We make an effort to shed light on this. So we're telling you that what happened was so sad. We woke up in the morning with the sad news, people crying. We saw the images. Most of these evildoers, these bad people from La République du Cameroun, they don't really understand that the world has changed. Most of these guys went to school during the early 1960s. I think those are the times when our parents also went to universities with these same people. Our parents have died and gone, but these devils are still here wreaking havoc on innocent people. The 60s, whatever you learned during the 60s is obsolete today. Most of these people don't understand that they are living in a brave new world. The way they could hide and lie and tell a lot of lies doesn't work anymore. In the world of today, whatever you do, nothing can be hidden under the sun. That's the message we want some of these evildoers to know. When you take a small town like Kumba, the senior district officer was plotting to heap blame on Ambazonian restoration forces. He decided to target a school, Mother Francisca International Academy. He targeted this school because he claimed it's not really a government school. So the government now is saying they want to encourage the average parent to send children to school. But they are very particular about the kind of school they want the children to go to. If the children go to a Catholic school, they are not happy. If the children go to a private school, they are not happy. They insist that because the government schools are empty, so they want most of these students to come to government schools so that they can have the numbers, then get these children to sing the Cameroon national anthem. Whenever you do not do what these people want, they target you, they send the police. The police are supposed to be peacemakers. At least from the way I understand the term police is a peacemaker, somebody who makes peace. But in this part of the world, the police have become tools, murderers, gang members in a cabal of Paul Biya. So they kill people. You think that the police will protect the people, they will protect the citizens. No, they don't protect the citizens. They do what their master wants them to do. And a lot of this is barbaric evil. We're not going to show you bad images of this massacre, but you can see that we have so many stories. A lot of the newspapers online, they're carrying these stories. The story has really gone viral, so we don't even need to show you the pictures. In fact, so many of our friends have sent us the images on WhatsApp, and we have some images on Facebook. So we've seen so many of these images, and yesterday we could not really eat because everything is really not sitting, okay? Rather not sitting. Why can a distant human being do something like this to other human beings? That's a question we keep asking ourselves. But people are fighting for power. You ask yourself, there's method in the madness. You may ask yourself, why kill so many little kids for nothing? No, the issue is these people have a justification. They are sacrificing these children to satisfy their political ambitions, which is basically what is happening. When you look at the SDO of Meme, he was doing this to heap the blame on the so-called Amber Boys. We've told you in the past that the Biya regime has created the so-called fake Amber Boys. These are like criminal element, hoodlums. They use them to create havoc or mayhem in an area. Then they shift the blame and put it on Ambazonian restoration forces because they want these guys to look bad. It's like the best way to kill a dog is you give it a bad name, right? So these guys just want the Ambazonian restoration forces to look bad, but the population already can see through these games. So the games are not working anymore. In the past, it was possible to play games like this and get away with it, but not anymore. The people are very wise. Then you ask yourself, when these children were killed, if the Amber restoration fighters hate education, they don't want people to go to school, why did the Amber restoration forces not kill the teachers? So that's the mistake. Most of these thieves, they steal and they leave their ID on the table. So these are foolish thieves. People are asking, why did the Ambazonian restoration forces not kill the teachers? So you can see that from the revelation of the videos that and the audio tapes that we've examined, the SDO connive with elements of Paul Biya's militia to kill these children, then heap the blame on Ambazonian restoration forces. So we've seen this. Everything is clear. So you don't need to waste your time worrying about what really happened. So we're just telling you the truth. So many stories have been collaborated by other elements. So you don't only need to look at us. We've looked at so many stories from different parties, and they've all agreed that the Biya regime sent these forces to kill these children. This is not the first time children have been killed in this part of the world. Because of this, we're not really going to talk much about Ambazonia because this is the main story that has really gotten us upset, and we're going to look at the bright side to this. The people are still resisting, okay? The people are resisting, and you can see some people in Fako with a video. They try to use even their juju as their way to express their frustration with the Biya regime.
It's the place to be. If somebody has the ground, let the person come here again. of Goya. So Bulu people, stay out of this land. We have just performed for ourselves to tell the Bulu people that they are not above the Fako people. They are not above the government. This land belongs to the University of Goya. This land belongs to the University of Goya. And all the government officials who are behind the team of Bulu, let me elect here and see what will happen to you people.
Then, of course, this BR regime also is creating havoc even for the Francophones. So you may think that only the Anglophones are having trouble with the regime. No. Look at Mr. Maurice Kamto. Before September 22nd, he's been under house arrest, and he's still under house arrest today. We have pictures we can show you. A lot of his supporters were chased by the police, and they were beaten by the police. And when you look at this, you ask yourself, is this how the police behaves in a democratic state? So the whole notion of a state is comical when you look at it in this context. Everything looks like a democracy, but it's not really a democracy. So Mr. Maurice Kamto is really testing the tenets of democracy in this system. Is this country a democratic system? The actions of Mr. Maurice Kamto are actually dramatizing the fact that it is not a democratic system. So if you had any illusions about the existence of democracy in this part of the world, the present happenings would actually dispel those illusions, okay? So you see that even we saw even a story about Lady Pons, who is even of Betty extraction, a popular singer. She also came out and expressed her sympathy with the people of Ambazonia. And she says, to her, it's like, maybe if we had thought, well, if an Anglophone becomes president after Paul Biya, it may really help the situation because we really need these brothers and sisters, but that may be late because the Ambazonians don't even want to be part of La République anymore. So she was just expressing a wish. And we feel bad for this, and we're telling you that this is not good.
Have you heard the latest healthcare news? There's been a medical programming breakthrough. Let's go to Ali and Ron for more.
Thanks, Seb. A Good Samaritan is offering Alexia HTC, a new EMR EHR to doctors for free. Certainly, this free offer will shake things up in the medical software industry. Alexia HTC is a David pitting itself against the Goliaths, Epic, Cerner, and Meditech, which are old and cost too much money. What happens if you figure out how to build a new EMR EHR on the web for pennies on the dollar? You give it away to the suffering physicians for free.
Want to learn more about how these two powerhouse solutions will help you win more business? Schedule a demo below. In just minutes, Alexia HTC can help you access a patient record, enter an order, write a note, prescribe a medication, generate a charge, and create a super bill. Plus, Alexia Care Corporation, the vendor of the new web application, offers full customer service and training support free of charge. Who can beat that?
So from Ambazonian and La République, we're going to move now to Nigeria. We reported a lot of stories on Nigeria last week. We were really concerned about the South's protests. The protests were really worldwide. Everywhere you went, people were protesting. Even in Washington, D.C., Nigerians and their well-wishers were protesting. Back home, the young people were also protesting. But after our show, the Nigerian army went to an area called Lekki and turned the lights off and started shooting indiscriminately at innocent protesters, unarmed protesters. So then we'll ask you, Mr. Buhari, is this how a democracy operates? We've always said that Mr. Buhari is not a Democrat. And people say, oh no, you guys don't like him. No, on this show, we don't really bear grudges. We just tell the truth, okay? We just tell the truth objectively. This guy is not a Democrat. It's unfortunate when we look at the way the guy has run the country. It's very sad that he doesn't have democratic leanings. Much of what he has are dictatorial leanings, okay? He thinks like a dictator, he acts like a dictator. So what he see, a dictator. So when we look at what happened, a few days ago, we got information that he invited the former president, Goodluck Jonathan, and Obasanjo to meet with him to discuss this crisis. But it's so sad that so many lives have been lost because of this protest. Mr. Obasanjo even cautioned him to go slow. I mean, take it easy. Don't just rush into military action. Work with the protesters. The protesters are citizens. It is not a crime to protest in a democracy. But the way Mr. Buhari handled this, it just shows that he's not a Democrat. Okay? And he doesn't really care. He's really aloof. When you look at his approach, he made a speech where he was instead praising himself, talking about his achievements in government. But the Nigerian people know that he doesn't have any achievements. They know that he's a failure. He came, he promised them security and well-being. Both objectives have not really been achieved. So we don't really know about the achievement Mr. Buhari is talking about. But we want him to focus attention, look at the lives that have been lost. Imagine that if any of these young people were his children, how would he feel? But most of these people don't really care about other people's children. They just feel like you can die, they can sacrifice you, and that's it. It doesn't bother them. So these are stone, cold-hearted people. And these are evil people. They don't really care about life. You look, over 65 people lost their lives during this protest because they were not handled properly by Mr. Buhari. You look at it yourself. And even though the country is really opening, we just got information. A lot more people are dying because of COVID. So what is he really doing? Not much. So we just tell Mr. Buhari that we're not really happy with the way you've handled this crisis. The blood of all these young people is on your hands, whether you like it or not. When you sleep at night, I know as a devil, you don't really think straight. But so be it. We just want to heap the blame on your table. So that's it. From Nigeria now, we're going to go to Guinea. Last week, we mentioned to you that Guinea was having presidential elections, and who won the presidential election? As we predicted, Alpha Conde won the election. We even spent time last week to explain to you who Alpha Conde is. He used to be a member of the opposition, and he was clamoring, fighting to become president. The people thought, okay, maybe if he becomes president, he'll be a good guy. We'll have a change for the better. Did that happen? No. Instead, he just wants to stay in power forever. Mr. Diallo, the head of the opposition, did not have a chance. And we told you that he did not really have a chance. So whatever happened, I think the facts have really shown that we're really foresighted. He did not make it because the dictator will not let him win. When a dictator organizes the elections, it's like he's a referee in his own match. He's a player and he's a referee at the same time. So if he's a referee, then he's referring the match, so he has to win. He will not let the opposition win because it's just like you're a judge. You have a case in court. You are the plaintiff, or you're a defendant and you're a judge at the same time. So how can you lose? You cannot lose. But as a result, you can see pictures. It looks like Guinea is now in chaos. For a while, we thought the people of Guinea are going to enjoy some moment of peace and quiet, but it looks like things are falling apart. The country shows people protesting and fighting. A lot of them have been killed by the security forces, and you can see debris all over the place. We have a lot of pictures we can show you, which are happening. So that's as much as we can tell you about Guinea.
Hey, yo, Shape, I thought you was gonna take me to this place so I could get my taxes done. You know I'm trying to buy a new house. What's up?
Let's get it on. If you're searching for a house, call up my man Prince Ojong, the best in real estate. Take it from your guy Shape. When I say his services are the best in the states, word is born. He even take care of your tax forms, back refunds. So come, get your business done. Consultations, financial organization, fast processing. No waiting, this man is amazing. The Prince.
Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131.
From Guinea, we're going to move now to Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast also is having presidential elections on the 31st of October. Okay? So pretty soon, in just a few days, Alassane Ouattara would be elected as president for a third term. Even though it's not constitutional for him to run for a third term, he cleaned up the constitution and made it possible for himself to run again. And it looks like most of the people who could have challenged him, he worked very hard to keep them out of the country, guys like Guillaume Soro and Laurent Gbagbo. But the person who seems to be making a plan, to be working a diabolical plan with Alassane Ouattara is the former president of Ivory Coast, Henri Konan Bedie. It looks like Ouattara has struck a deal with him, but all the other guys in the opposition have been pushed aside, so they can't even do anything. So when you look at Ivory Coast, it looks like the country has no opposition. Where are the opposition parties? They don't exist. Ouattara has just crushed them all and pushed them aside, so they don't exist. But the sad thing, whenever you do this in a country, you may think that you have the army behind you. You are just inviting problems, because eventually the people are forced to react. A desperate person, when you push them to the wall, they start moving forward. You've pushed them so far, now it's time for them to move forward. They can't go further behind because they've hit the wall. So now, as a physical reaction, they bounce forward and start fighting for their rights. And that's what is really happening. Most of these countries depend so much on the colonial masters, like France, because they supply them weapons. Instead of using these weapons to protect their people, they use the weapons to oppress the people they're supposed to protect. They don't only oppress them, they even kill them. So it's really sad when we see what is happening in Ivory Coast. We know that Ivory Coast is really a place where trouble is coming again. Ivory Coast has gone through a civil war, and people thought, okay, things are over, Alassane has come now, but Alassane has reneged on his word. After his prime minister died, he decided that the presidency and contest again for a third term. That doesn't really augur well, because people are going to start clamoring for their freedom. And as you know, in the past, we've told you that a lot of people have been dying in Ivory Coast. Okay, from Ivory Coast now, we want to take you to Sudan. This week, we got information that President Trump has lifted sanctions against Sudan. After so many years under the dictator, okay, Sudan now is free to do commerce because the dictator is gone. Omar Bashir is in jail now, so they can't find him again. So the country now is free to make a deal. So it looks like President Trump has worked a deal so that Sudan can start doing business with Israel. But will it just be just a lifting of sanctions or a recognition of Israel? That's the question. And we're going to see how this will play out, because many of the other Arab countries don't really want to make peace with Israel. So if Sudan is making peace with Israel, how is Sudan going to manage its relationship with the other Arab states? So it remains to be seen. I'm going to ask you to take a look and see how that works out. From Sudan now, we want to go to Tanzania. Tanzania is also another situation where there are elections, and it looks like the opposition has just been pushed to the ground because the president is really a dictator. Okay? The president is a dictator, and the opposition parties are just telling us that they are being intimidated and they don't know what to do. So the bulldozer is just pushing them aside, and so it looks like the bulldozer would win another term to run the country as president. So this is really sad whenever this happens. We've always told you in the past that what is really creating problems in Africa is the politics of exclusion. The politics of exclusion creates chaos in Africa. Okay? Whenever you try to monopolize power, eventually people want to fight you. And they want to fight you. So when they fight you, it creates problems. We've been reading a story this morning about a French journalist was comparing African countries with some of the Asian countries. And it's a comparison we've always made on this show. So this is not really like something new. The French journalist was just looking at, for example, you look at Nigeria. Nigeria had its independence in 1960. Some of these African countries had independence in 1960 also. most of these African countries have a lot of natural resources. But have they been able to use natural resources for their betterment or for the betterment of their people? No, they have not. And that's why the youth of today are really fighting for their rights, because they feel like their future is bleak. By contrast, when you look at Asia, places like Hong Kong, okay, Hong Kong was just like most African countries during the early 1960s. But they have been able to change their country, transform it. Look at Singapore. Some of these places, you will not even believe that they were in the same position like most African countries. Interestingly, most of these Asian countries do not have oil. They do not have all the resources we have in Africa. How have they been able to develop and Africa is not developing? That's a question a lot of inquiring minds have been asking, and we've been trying to address these questions on this show. The problem is good governance. In Africa, we do not have good governance. In Africa, we have dictators. It's just like a tribe of dictators who don't really want to do what is good for the people. We want people who are not nationalistic, okay? So when we have people who are not nationalistic, they cannot think for the betterment of the country. They only think for themselves. So it's easy for them now to sell the country away, just like what Paul Biya is doing. Most of the resources of the country, he takes them and buys weapons from China and some of these other places. If you look, from the time Mr. Biya came, he really changed the relationship between China and Cameroon, La République du Cameroon. So now China is one of the biggest arms exporter to Cameroon. So when you look at this, why do you waste all the resources of the country on arms instead of helping the people? So that's why we're having problems, and we think we need to do a reset. We have to reset, press the reset button so that the youth of tomorrow can really benefit more from the country. So we thank you very much for watching our show of today. We've covered most of the topics we wanted to cover with you, but we're telling you we're going to be coming with a Christmas gift for you. Before the 25th of December, we're going to come up with free money-making seminars and programs that can help you. And for now, I will ask you, take a look at my book. I have a book which I published titled The Miraculous Millionaire. It's on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. Start looking at this book, then expect to get a surprise from us. So I will say from the 15th to the 20th of December, we'll be organizing some of these seminars to share a lot of financial information with you, and we'll be inviting you to join our business network so that you can benefit and make some money for yourself. Thank you very much, and may God bless you. But don't forget to subscribe to the show. Share the show with your friends, okay? Do it. Please, share, and share.
I'm at Favor. It's an African store by the neighborhood here, Beltsville, in back of Maryland's farm. It's been a wonderful year for the past 2 to 3 years we have in this African store here, and it's helping us, and actually it's a good place for us to come and give us support and do some shopping here. The prices are reasonable, and most of the stuff you can have is universal.
One thing I love about this store, they are very consistent and they treat the customers very, very well. You come here, you see everything that you will need for your house.
Express Driving School is the place for excitement of fast-track driver education, drug and alcohol testing, driver counseling, bilingual translation. For all your MVA needs, contact us. John F. Abbey, 6480 New Hampshire Avenue Suite, 207B, Tacoma Park, Maryland, 20912. Office phone, 301-270-0018. Cell phone, 240-644-3977. And you can reach us at our website, expressdrivingeducation.com. alexia.htc.com. Medical practice software is too old. Indeed, all the programs are built on MUMPS, technology of the 1950s, and the programs cost too much money. Epic and Cerner cost billions of dollars. Meditech costs thousands of dollars too. In fact, that's why we created AlexiaHTC.com, a new and free EMR/EHR for doctors. AlexiaHTC.com is built for HIPAA. Yes, magical one-screen technology, ease of use, quick charting, amazing e-prescribing, tight labs integration, multi-office difference, because we believe doctors and patients need a break today. Be the first to test drive AlexiaHTC.com. You have nothing to lose, you have everything to gain. Act now. Call 240-350-1131. Alexia Care Corporation at AlexiaHTC.com.
Unique Auto Repair. This is a brother from Ghana. His name is Emmanuel Ofori. He has a good business and he repairs cars. He repairs all types of cars. Mercedes, Toyota, Honda, you name it. The brother does it. He repairs everything. So even if you buy a car from the auction and you need to get it fixed, go to Emmanuel Ofori, Unique Auto Repair. He will repair this for you. It's very, very good. He has repaired my cars for me many times, and I love the service. And if you mention my name, Prince Ojong, he will give you even something also.
Selling a service or a product? Need buyers? Use the African Nation TV as a channel to reach many viewers. Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131. Act today.